Welcome to the 2050 podcast. My name is Max Hack and my guest today is Martin Hohn. Martin and I recently met in Zurich, Switzerland. Martin has a background in the hospitality industry and is now working on a super interesting project, and I thought that his works really align with what other podcast guests are talking about. Also aligns with Daniel Schmachtenberger's vision. So I think he's a super interesting guest. So enjoy this interview. Hi, Martin. Great to have you on the 2050 podcast.
Hi, Max. Thanks for the introduction.
So, Martin, tell us, what do you feel like? What is your life purpose?
Yeah, I love that question. But before I jump right to the answer, I think it's also interesting to elaborate a little bit why it is important to actually have a purpose. I think for me, it totally changed my life when I actually found my purpose, because it allowed me to finally focus on something meaningful. And speaking of meaningful, I think maybe it's interesting to see what's the definition of meaningful. And I've kind of found out that for me, a life purpose has to have a greater service to society, actually. And once you, I think, kind of find your life purpose, in a way, you just commit to it and you can't really make any more compromises in your life. So it's in a way that you can't really go back. So and then when you really go for it, this also brings along sacrifices in your life, but in the end, it makes your life so much more adventurous and it brings a lot of rewards. So I'm really grateful for this journey. And but a lot of people might ask themselves, well, how do I really kind of find this purpose? And I think it doesn't really come just like that. I mean, you really have to give it space, ask for it, and kind of create the conditions for that purpose to kind of emerge within yourself. So having said all that, my life purpose is really to support humanity's transition to a new paradigm by fostering the evolution of the collective consciousness.
Given your life purpose, what do you want to see? What do you want to create in the world by the year 2050? What is your long-term vision?
Yeah, well, I think as a humanity, we're living in a very interesting time. So I think the situation we are in has as much, potential for change as maybe 10,000 years ago when we settled. So this moment in time, I think, has a lot of potential for change the fate of humanity. Everything is kind of possible right now. And in a way to really, have a transition to something, let's call it better. For me, it's really important that, as a collective, we really start to, develop our consciousness, grow the self-awareness, dive deeper into personal growth, and really establish authentic human connections amongst ourselves. So I think this, having reached that kind of level or kind of working on these topics, I think that will really allow us to move away from, hierarchies and the spirit of competition, which somehow came into our lives, when we settled down as a species, like plus minus 10,000 years ago. And I think the future really lies in, to get back to a collaboration, co-creation, and focus on our unique human qualities, which are going to be really essential in the digital age and all the transformations to come. So I think that's really where I see my work in the next decades. And 2050, we still have a bit of time to go till there. So I really believe this is going to be a super exciting and very challenging time to come, and I'm looking forward to that.
And how are you going to make that happen? Do you have like something concrete that you can talk about that people maybe can better imagine? Like, what are you working on?
Yeah, I mean, all these things that I mentioned, obviously these are very big topics, and also once you have a life purpose, sometimes it leaves you kind of out there wondering, well, how do I actually achieve that? And I mean, you need something to work on. Otherwise, you might even feel more lost and without having a purpose. So this also took me, quite some time until I really figured out or found or created actually a project where I could bring all these things together, which are really relevant to me and which I believe are going to have an impact in the future. So I came up with this concept, which in a way I believe will allow me to maximize impact and kind of create a ripple effect in society. And so that's basically my concept of the Zurich Retreat space, because I believe that spaces to connect and that serve as models or prototypes for new forms of society will be very important in the coming times and in these times of transition. And so I think in the future we also need to kind of share this new knowledge of transformation with the mainstream. So the power the power of spaces for connection and combined with these knowledge of transformation is something which is key to the concept. So in a way to summarize the whole concept is, with Zurich Retreat, we are trying to create this holistic campus for transition knowledge, which should create an ecosystem to catalyze change, and at the same time really create a prototype or a model for a new society or a new civilization in a way. So this is how we want to start. That's going to be one key project, but this obviously should grow to a worldwide network of, let's say, affiliated centers that become hubs of inspiration and positive transformation all around the world, because that need is a global need, and we just want to create the hubs for to create a space where this inspiration can spread, where all the people can come together who are interested in these topics and kind of create a field for transformation in that sense.
Yeah. When we met, like, you also talked a bit about like possible next steps, like of really how the Zurich Retreat, this physical space, how it can look like. Do you want to maybe like give a short, like paint a picture of how people can imagine that space? How does it look like? What can people do there?
Yeah. Well, ideally, we see it as a living organism, really as an ecosystem, which is basically community based. So there's people living there, working there. So in one way, we have like this co-living, co-working concept, like they're very, getting very popular nowadays. So we just really want to prototype a new type of co-living and co-working, which is community based, but also involves all the aspects of sustainability, with a bit of permaculture, with sustainable energy sources, all these kind of things. But we are not meant to be like kind of an intentional community, but we are there to kind of in a way run a business, which is our center. And the Zurich Retreat Center basically is, like I said, a holistic campus, but we really see ourselves as a competence center where we want to offer solutions and content for individuals and organizations to really, get ready for the transition and help them to transition to a new paradigm. So we're basically offering content for personal growth and organizational transformation, which is built around 3 centers. So we have the Personal Development Center, Organizational Transformation Center, and then we also have something which we call the Social Innovation Lab, where we really want to create like an incubator for social innovations that are going to address the systemic changes in our society, which we believe that we need to move to the next level. So in a way, you can just kind of imagine it as a little innovation village, as an incubation hub where in the initial plans, we have space for like 50 community members, 100 guests. So we see ourselves as a place offering space for a tribe of 150 people living in a slightly rural area close to the Zurich metropolis, and having a beautiful campus in nature with tiny houses, sustainable modern architecture, and just a beautiful kind of modern futuristic village in a way.
Yeah. So if people like your vision, think your idea is dope and want to support you, how can people work with you, support you in your life purpose, in your 2050 goal, in making this village happen?
Yeah, I mean, we always love to get support. I mean, right now we're just like bootstrapping, so we are having the basic startup struggles. The thing is being we are basically for purpose project, and we're not working for profit. I mean, obviously we're going to want to achieve profits, but they're always going to stay within the company and allow us to grow. So we are not really kind of, appealing to the typical investment schemes. So we're dealing with a whole different type of funding strategy. So obviously funding is a big topic with us. So we're always happy to receive support on that side. Obviously, the land is a very critical element that we're looking at. I mean, we're looking for a rather big plot of land in the surroundings of Zurich. Is not very easy. So, funding and land are like big milestones we're working on at the moment. But in the end, I mean, we're all about co-creation. So basically, we're just looking for partners that are like-minded, either organizations, private people, foundations that just basically share our vision and want to, do this together with us. And so, if there's resonance with our project, what we do if you want to connect with us, if you want to support us, I mean, just reach out. We're looking forward to hearing from everybody who's interested and, shaping the future together.
What's the best way people can reach you?
Well, I think, it's a good way just to start having a look on our website. We have a lot of material on there, brochures, pitch decks, and there's various links on the website how to reach us. All mails will end up on my desk at some point. I mean, we are a core team of 4 to 5 people right now. So we're there to receive your information. You can reach out to us on Facebook and on all other channels. I'm sure if you want to get in touch with us, you will get in touch with us.
Awesome. And as always, if you want to learn more about Martin, about Zurich Retreat, find his website and so on, check out the show notes and check out 2050.org. Until next time, peace.